Now we are going to multiply a binomial times a trinomial. So a binomial has 2 terms, a trinomial has 3 terms. It's just exactly like what we've been doing before when we multiplied 2 binomials. You take this whole thing and you're going to distribute it over each part of this one. So I will start with 3x plus 2 times the 9x squared. Next, I'm going to do 3x plus 2 times minus 6. Now, there are 2 ways I could write that. I could write that as minus 3x plus 2 times 6x, or I could write it as 3x plus 2 times, and see, since I'm subtracting 6x, I could write that as negative 6x. I think this is the easier one to do because when you start multiplying all of this out, you then have to go through and watch your signs on everything. So I'm going to do it this way because you always have to be really careful of your negatives whenever you're doing any sort of problem. All right, so I have plus 3x plus 2, and remember this is a negative 6. I'm subtracting 6, so I'm multiplying negative 6, plus, and I ran out of space, 3x, well I'm going to do this one, 3x plus 2 and 4. 3x plus 2 times 4. Now I'll go down to my next line and do the distributive property on each part of it. So 3x plus 2 times 9x. Remember, I'm going to multiply these two. 3x times 9x squared. And then I'm going to multiply these two, plus 2 times 9x squared. Now I'll multiply this next part. The 3x times the negative 6. Oops, this is a negative 6x, I'm sorry. If you're writing this down, fix that on your problem, please. Okay, so this is 3x times negative 6x, and then these two, plus 2 times negative 6x. Now I've got one more set. I have to do this 3x times 4, and then 2 times 4, plus 2 times 4. Okay, now I'm going to start simplifying all these. If you'd like to, you may put parentheses around the different things. You don't have to, but for some people it makes it easier. Now I'm going to combine all of those things that are inside parentheses. So I have 3 times 9 is 27. X to the first power times x to the second power is x to the 1 plus 2. So that's x cubed plus 18x squared plus 3 times negative 6. I can either say plus a negative or I can just say minus 18x squared. And then this one too, it's got a negative in there, so I can either say plus a negative 12 or I can just say minus 12x plus 12x plus 8. Okay, now I'm going to simplify all of that. I'll combine my like terms. Now, what happens here? These two are going to cross out, 18x squared minus 18x squared, and then these two also disappear. And I wind up with 27x cubed plus 8. Now, if these were not 18 and negative 18 and negative 12 and positive 12, you'd have had an x squared term and an x term. But my final answer is 27x cubed plus 8.